Alright, team. Alrighty. Hope everything's all good and all well so far. Today's date is Tuesday, August the 26th, 2025, and just wanted to get my trade recap for tonight. Um, Unfortunately, we took a loss. Um, I'd say that this trade shouldn't have been taken at all. Um, just because what we did, right? So what did we do? So when London session opened here on this candle, we immediately we break structure to the downside, but also take out Asia lows, right? And also fill in this gap a little bit more. This gap I was talking about yesterday, and we get a nice push up. But again, we were still in this range here because market did break structure for sure, but we're still in this range from this high to this low, right? So I'm looking for a continuation model from this order block here. I marked it as breaker block just because we broke structure, but this is an order block. Why? Why not this being the order block? Because this is already mitigated, right? How's it mitigated? Because we pushed down lower, price came up, tapped this order block here before continuing down, sweeping these lows. So this is the next order block up next. It hasn't been mitigated yet. So once we had that sweep, price push up, and I was kind of just waiting to see what the zone would do. Um, as you can see, we we had some pushes down, right? We had a little bit of displacement downwards after taking out these highs. So I was like convinced that we would at least continue down lower, um, uh, continue down lower to take out these lows here, on the 1 hour. Just because that sometimes when news candle opens, people are taking a buy or taking a sell, but in this case, people were buying. Like they had they bought just before news, and where would their stop loss be? Below here, even below here maybe. Um, but this candle opened at 2 in the morning, so you know stops could be under this low as well. Like if we look on the 5 minute, um, people probably had buys around here, this level, as I marked out on the 1 hour, even this level here. So I was thinking that price could tap those out before reversing, but again, I was just waiting for the zone to see what we would do in the zone. So my confluences we're still in a bear structure. We're in equilibrium, so we were in a premium to go short. Um, and also taking out this high that created this order block here. We took out that high, created some displacement down. But again, um, I think I should have stuck to the 5 minute here, just because um, we were still printing bullish candles after rejecting this fair value gap here. Maybe like I should have waited for like a close inside and then a bearish candle out of it, just showing that sellers have now taken control of this area rather than just because price just grabbed liquidity here, um, came down, fill in this gap, this inversion gap here, and also filling in this fair value gap to continue up higher. Um, so so once we had the displacement down, I was waiting to see how we would do in this fair value gap, and on the 1 minute, uh, we had we had this gap here. After tapping into here, price broke straight through, and I entered. Stops were above this candle's high, just because it gave me enough room, um, above the fair value gap, but price wanted to tap back into it and not close above, but we wicked past it. This would have been a good high. Um, that I felt uh, comfortable putting my stops at, just because if we broke this gap, I knew that price was gonna um, continue up higher. As price If price wanted to continue down lower, this fair value gap definitely should have got respected on the 5 minute, just because we're on bearish structure previously. I'll show you guys. We made a high and we made a low and we broke structure. We did have that liquidity sweep of Asia lows here. Um, but again, I should have waited after taking Asia lows. I should have waited for a better confirmation, I would say, or at least a bearish candle out of this instead of um, a bullish candle. Because as you can see here on the 5 minute, we still closed bullish here. Um, and we continue to ride up here. And once we closed above, this then became an inversion fair value gap where price used it to take out these hourly highs up here. And I was looking for buys just because we broke our major, structure for we're currently in 5 minute order flow. Just because we broke this high here. So now instead of higher high, higher low, higher high, lower higher high, lower low, it's now become a higher high, lower low, higher low, oh no, higher high, higher low, and higher high up here, right? So we broke internal structure, but we also broke this structure here. So I'm looking for a continuation, just because where we're gonna target next, the fact that we are in this 1 hour huge fair value gap, the fact that we are in this premium, this discount, sorry, uh, we can only assume that price will take out Asia highs and to continue to follow the major trend here. Um, but that was my trade. But I couldn't find anything before 9 o'clock. As you can see, it's 9. Um, there was only this breaker block here, but it's been mitigated already. Um, there wasn't any fair value gaps being printed. Uh, once we once we broke structure, we kind of and if there I was willing to take a trade off this fair value gap here as price came down, worked it, and I would expect to see a continuation to Asia highs here. But we didn't. We broke straight through it, made it an inversion fair value gap, and there wasn't really anything here besides I would say equilibrium, which it filled. So if I were to take a trade, it would be that we got a reaction from this equilibrium, and what's that reaction cause? This fair value gap here. Um, So if I were to take a trade, it'll be this fair value gap here to take out Asia highs, just because we reacted from equilibrium, from these lows. Oh no, sorry, from these lows to these highs. Because if we break this structure, if we break internal structure back to the downside, we're still bullish for sure. We're still bullish, but I'd want to see reaction from these POIs and this be treated as a liquidity sweep. So, so price would calm down here, work out these lows, tap into this order block because this order block is still unmitigated, especially breaking structure, like this major high here. um, but again, we kind of made some structure here, so that's why I was um, predicting price to react from this range instead of this one. Because we already made that move. We made it. We put in a high low, high high, and yeah. So that was my trade recap for tonight. Unfortunately, a loss. Again, I do feel like I should have waited on the 5 minute just to just to at least get a bearish closure out of here. But we closed bullish on this bullish candle here. As you can see, we made that fair value gap, price tap back into it, but we still closed bullish. Uh, and especially higher time frame buyers as well, because we swept Asia lows, and that's a big like liquidity zone. You know, most people trade the reversals after liquidity sweep of Asia high or low, and it works out most of the time. Um, as you can see here, was this yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Um, I think where did we take that trade? Um, yeah, this breaker block here, like the zone failed, and we got that wick and targeting Asia lows. So yeah, that was the trade recap. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it. I did have something planned out for Euro USD, but after we got that reaction, there wasn't any um, confirmation for me. I mean, we swept these highs. We get a nice push down displacement from this range, from this higher high and this higher low and lower low, here and here. So again, we swept Asia lows, filled in this gap, even though we closed below it, which is weird. Um, so one price would have came up. I saw no displacement, like no fair value gaps, and if I were to take a trade, stops would have been too high, and the risk to reward would have not been that good. I mean, this just fueled the move. Like we took out Asia lows and we took out New York. So, like New York previous lows before it closed, before the market closed for New York session. Um, but yeah, that is that trade, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. Um, hope you guys are winning, and we will continue to learn. We will continue to grind till we make it. Till we make it, man. So have a good one, and peace. Peace, 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 peace.